What's up, everybody? This is Hainsey's Cave Talk, MMA show edition with James Boogie Perdue. This is a special week, UFC 317 International Fight Week. Him and I are going to be fired up for it. I hope you guys are excited. Come Saturday, we got a lot to unpack. What's up, Boogie?
Let's get it. I'm ready to get into it, man. A lot to talk about here.
Yeah, we didn't have such a issue getting this thing started up this week, so we're off to a better start.
Smoother, right?
Yeah, a little better start. All right, so to get into things right off the bat, our best buddy, Jon Jones, had some big news this week. You want to go ahead and let the fans know what's going on?
Breaking news, Jon Jones is a piece of shit. Yeah. Surprise, surprise. And he's afraid to fight Tom Aspinall because he knows he'll lose. But other than that, he kept the heavyweight division wrapped up now for 2 years at one point. And how long has he drug us along?
Oh, right.
I'm going over to Thailand. I'm doing a reality show. We called it last time. There was no way in hell was ever going to.
No, we were one of the ones that called it the most.
Immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the baddest guy, he's still the GOAT. No, he's not. You can't fail drug test.
All right, before you get into your huge rant,
all right.
I started the audio way late. So, like, anybody listening on Spotify, we are jumping in right now. We already started getting into our rant. So, it wouldn't be the Hainsey's Cave Talk without any errors. So, the Spotify edition is going to be a little off. Now, like you said, man, Jon Jones, did we call it?
I think maybe as soon as it announced, there was no chance in hell he was ever going to fight Tom Aspinall ever. He did what he usually does, and Dana White, we called it last time. Dana White said, "Listen, here's what every stipulation he had, an enormous amount of money." Dana White says, "Sold."
Right.
We
don't know how he got the money, but he did it. Yeah.
Well, now I'm doing a reality show, and even he drug it along as typical Jon Jones style.
Here's the thing, man. We knew when it was announced, there's no way this guy, he was playing too many games. If he wanted to retire, legitly wanted to retire, when he won that fight against Stipe Miocic, that should have ended the legacy. That should have been it. He should have walked off into the sunset. Perfect. I don't know what he was waiting on, man, but it was certainly he didn't want to fight Tom Aspinall.
No, I mean, I don't know. I think, I don't know the number. It'll come out eventually, the number he gave to Dana White to set that fight
fuck
up.
You money.
Yeah,
that's what they call it.
It was a disgusting amount of money, and Dana White called his bluff, said, "Sold, wherever you want, you got it." And he was stuck in the corner. He thought Dana was going to negotiate back and forth. Dana, yes, boom.
Right.
And he still did his typical for how many months, drag it along, I'm in training, I'm going to go to Thailand and do a reality show. It was all bullshit from the start.
The one thing I will say about the UFC is they say they're going to take care of Aspinall for taking a year off and waiting on Jones. What he did, man, was just hold up the division, make everybody a year older because nobody wanted to fight knowing Jones was going to do this. So they all want that title fight. And it's just, it really just is a shady thing, right?
100%. Like you said, he held the whole division back and nobody fought of any significance because they knew the call was coming. Hey, you're going to get Aspinall for the heavyweight title. So why are you going to mess around, get hurt possibly, or mess up with your ranking? I'm going to sit back in the weeds. I'll train because wait till Jon plays his games.
Yeah.
And now here we are, and we still don't know who's going to be. I'm thinking Gon is going to get the call.
And it's crazy to think he's going to get the call. He just keeps getting the...
Well, here's something I've seen. I know when I was researching a little bit today, big time research.
Oh, yeah.
They showed all of the heavyweight rankings, and Aspinall's beat everybody except for Gon. It's just, there's no...
Has he fought Jonathan Almeida? Because I think that's another one.
Ultimate, and the guy that just fought used to be a pitcher from Dominican Republic. He was a Major League pitcher. Got three different names. He just fought, But I mean, he's still raw. I think he's ranked 9th. He's not going to get a shot. But
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, okay. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But it sucks because the heavyweight division is kind of in limbo right now. They're going to feed somebody to Aspinall. But what they could have did, man, is they had a whole summer to build this thing. Or build Tom Aspinall, and Jon Jones just messed it all up just by playing games, knowing damn well he was never going to fight, man. He was never going to fight.
I don't know how anybody of anybody relevance or anybody, a lot of people smarter than us in this, would not say, hey, you know what, Jon Jones is playing games. Don't screw around. Why are you going to waste time? Aspinall, you can't, I don't care what they're going to make it right, how much they're going to, you can't put years back on his life that he missed waiting for this goofball. You're the champ now, but okay, I mean, it's 2 years I've waited for this guy.
Here's the thing, and there's a couple ways we're going to go with this. The first thing I wanted to ask Boogie was Okay, so the guy that Jones fought to get the title, okay, wasn't the champ. Cyril gone. Francis Ngannou was gone. That was the champ. He never lost his belt. So he beats a guy that is completely green in the grappling. Looks like a brick shithouse, but no match for Jon Jones. So then they set up this fight with Stipe. And it goes on way too long. They get hurt. They prolong it. It seems like 2 years to get this fight together. Stipe being 45, looks a shell of himself. Jon Jones goes and beats him. Now, if you put that as a resume, is that one of the worst heavyweight regimes ever, or title reigns?
There's what can you do? He fought a nobody to get the title.
Right.
And then why would you fight a senior citizen? We love Stipe, 100% Ohio boy. Seen him fight live in his prime.
Yeah.
Now that Stipe would fight this Jon Jones, a whole different story.
Right. It'd almost be like Aspinall right now, when we seen Stipe.
Yeah, I mean, that was before any of the Ngannou fights and getting knocked out. I mean, he was a lot of mileage put on Stipe, and he was old. So, I mean, it was bad, the setup from the start. So, I would love to see that fight now. And Jon Jones knows that. He's not going to risk. He is he's, like I said, he has the best fight IQ ever and the best fight avoiding IQ ever, because he knows I am going to lose this fight. Yeah. So I'm going to string it along, ask for an absorbent amount of money. They give it to him. Dangle the carrot more. You know what? I'm going to retire after I get another DUI charge.
Yeah, right. And it just simultaneously, over the weekend, he gets a new charge brought up that happened back in February, but the police footage just came out.
Just so
the
happened.
Same time that he looks to retire. You know what? I heard something watching Michael Bisping today. He said, this might have been the most Jon Jones way of retiring. Like, if it's going to sum up his career, if you look at his accolades, they're going to be championship, criminal charge, championship, criminal charge, championship, something piece of shit happening. And that's just how it's going to be. And maybe this was the best way Jon Jones could retire.
Failed drug test. Let me hide underneath the gym whenever the USADA's coming to get a piss test. Just hide under the ring.
Admitting being all coked up the weekend before a fight.
Beating up hookers and all that. I mean, he's a scumbag person. That is perfect the way examined. Man, youngest heavyweight title ever, failed drug test. And then he fought the names, but we discussed this before.
Right.
Did he fight the names when they were the names?
It's almost like he's fighting like guys where he would be right now. Yeah, and that's not how he doesn't want to switch the places. But with the charges, hit and run. A girl left in the car, half naked, no pants on, airbags deployed, like he hit something and took off running.
Running down the street.
They said probably a smart decision that he did run with all the past charges. Now this is allegedly.
It gotta be.
Then they get said person, Jon Jones, on the phone, and he goes on a rant. It sounds like Jon Jones.
I would verify. Yeah. I'm not.
I mean, I'm not an analyzer, but it sounds like Jon Jones.
I've heard him a lot. I mean, pretty famous guy. He's on the microphone a lot. Harder to not distribute or not distinguish that voice.
Right.
It's hard one to like make up, or you're gonna.
Yes, he's distinct, man.
So they go about and said, here, we'll get the timestamps of the text messages and the calls coming in, subpoena his cell phone. Oh, you know what? It's a couple seconds off. The first guy talking, that's not me. The second guy is a little angry. That's me because I'm being accused. The first guy that's being aggressive and talking about.
What did the first guy say?
He said that his brothers have killed people less than that. Talking to the cop.
It wouldn't be the first time, he said.
The first time. My brothers have killed for things less than that. But it wasn't him. That guy that allegedly is Jon Jones. The fighter? Yes, that Jon Jones. No. Yeah, that guy, the timestamps match up. But the first guy, I don't know who, was impersonating my voice.
Yeah, and the girl said she was on, shrooms? She was drunk. And she's in the car going, that's Jon Jones. That's Jon Jones. Like, his lawyer's trying to... say it's some of the worst. Yeah, some of the worst. They're going out to try to get him, but man, I don't want to be on Hazy's Cave Talk saying it's a for shoe-in. But if you guys watch the video and you know anything about Jon Jones, that was Jon Jones on the telephone.
Allegedly, but I'll stake my.
Yeah. So I mean, our last episode was titled "Fuck Jon Jones." This episode is going to be titled "Fuck Jon Jones" Part 2.
We were right.
We called it.
We were right. Yeah, we were right. And like you said, there's no Nostradamus. I don't know how people smart enough couldn't see what a dirtbag move he was going to do. Called his bluff. And like you said, Bisbee, that is a perfect Jon Jones thing to do.
Way to retire,
I'm
dude.
Retired. I'm going to go get in a hit and run down the street.
And he's like, I'm not a perfect man. I'm not judging him personally. Everybody messes up. He has a history of doing it. He goes, but that's like Jon Jones. That's how it would be, you know.
If there's a script, that's the way it's going to be written. Jon Jones.
Full disclosure, too, he's still our all-time GOAT, man. As much as we hate on him, as much as he is a piece of shit, he's the best MMA fighter, full disclosure, ever. And he could have been one of the best athletes ever if he didn't do the shit he does. So it's almost like we're disappointed in the guy because the sport we love, the greatest fighter of all time, in our opinion, God, he's a piece of shit.
I mean, you think about prime Lawrence Taylor. I mean, if he wasn't on coke and crack all the time, what a menace he was.
Yeah.
Like, that's Jon Jones in a nutshell. I mean, before Jon Jones, holy shit, amazing what he could do. And just flush it down the shit.
It's just like watching our Tom Brady just be a complete asshole and do the wrong thing over and over and over, you know? I just can't imagine.
It's not. I mean, Brady's smart enough to do. He's definitely not perfect. Same with LeBron James, but it's behind it, not in front of the camera. I've heard their stories on planes about those people.
Yep.
Both Tom Jones and LeBron.
Or Tom Brady?
Yeah, they're not the best people in the world on a plane, but again, when they take the camera, they say the right things. They don't
ever get criminal charges.
Never handcuffs. They're not running down the street with beating up hookers.
Jesus. But what we got tap on the show, we're going to talk big into UFC 317. We're pretty fired up about that. International Fight Week this week's kicked off. Full disclosure, today's Wednesday when we're recording this. So from Wednesday to Saturday, a lot of things can happen. A lot of fights can get canceled. So if our predictions seem a little wacky or the fighter we're talking about is no longer on the card, that happens. That's why, we are posting it a little early.
Show business, buddy.
That's
show business, baby.
I went to Facebook land, asked some suggestions on what people wanted to hear us talk about. Our buddy Rich Tinsley reached out and said he wants to hear us talk about the middleweight division, and we'll get into that. And then my buddy Tim Bickerstaff, interesting thing he wants to talk about, and that's something that we haven't even gave a thought in a while, but he wants us to talk about fighters that are teammates that refuse to fight each other throughout the years. That's a pretty cool topic, so that's what we got on tap for this episode. But let's get into it, man. 317. I'm pretty excited. I really am. I think the fights are going to be pretty good top to bottom.
I agree, but it just the bad part is this is International Fight Week. This should be the Christmas day of MMA, UFC, and all the shuffling weight classes, people moving. It doesn't have the altitude it should have with International Fight Week. There's 2 championship fights, yes, but they're not top tier fight. Don't get me wrong, the card is stacked and they're going to be great fights, but International Fight Week is the number one.
I would see where you're saying like the name notoriety's not there. I feel like if Islam would have stayed and fought Topuria, that would have been bigger numbers. But when you're looking at it from a fan perspective, Charles Oliveira is worth every penny, and Ilia Topuria is worth every penny. That's an exciting matchup. That is going to be dynamic. There is finish written all over that fight. And then the co-main event, like you said, 125ers. They usually don't pack the buzz, but that's a really good fight. Alexandre Pantoja is amazing, man. So I get what you're saying, but I think the fights are going to be good. I really do.
So somebody like me and you or anybody that follows MMA like we do, now the names aren't there to say, well, notoriety, but the fights are going to be amazing. I mean, they're going to be out. But still, going back to play Jon Jones, Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall headlining.
Yeah, Conor McGregor. This is the week, the month.
Yeah, this is usually, this is the Christmas day. This is what MMA is, all the big deal for UFC. And everybody gathers in Las Vegas. It's just lost the appeal of what it usually is. I mean, they'll make up for it down the road. I think at the end of the year, like we talked about before, cards are going to be stacked and made to make up for this. But to the casual fan, okay, there's no Conor McGregor. But to me or you, anybody MMA fan,
well, I think anybody tuning in, guys they never heard of, there's some exciting matchups they put together from the first prelim all the way up. So there are going to be some good fights. I don't see a lot of decisions on this card, so that's a good thing. That always keeps the buzz going. But International Fight Week, they kick it off tonight with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. First time the UFC's having a championship. That's pretty cool. The belt itself, do you see the belt? Looks
Amazing.
pretty sick,
I like
dude.
the ring they have too.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Sloped sides, pretty awesome.
So it's pretty cool. They got into that. They're doing that Wednesday, which is tonight. Press conference tomorrow. I'll be excited. I'll be tuned in for that. They usually announce something really big during the press conference. And then we get into Friday weigh-ins and a Hall of Fame, and Saturday they tap it off with a whole card. I'm pretty pumped up.
It's going to be like I said, the whole week. That's what International Fight Week, so they got it stacked up for people that go out there and pay thousands of dollars to go just to spend the whole week there. We met a lot of fighters ourselves, so imagine being in that environment. My top of the list ever. Go to Vegas and meet these people, and so much interaction. That for anybody new listening, the UFC, the interaction we have with the fighters is amazing. Hainsey and myself have shaken hands with world champs. They're just walking in the crowd. Anthony Rebel Johnson, no one knew who he was. He's looking around, lost, and like.
There's been, it's just they're Jim so Miller relatable, just walked around, the greatest guys. Announcers are really cool. It's so you can't get that close to Tom Brady, as we're saying. Right. I mean, Zeke Elliott in the prime, you're not getting nowhere close to these I think that helped us fall in love with the sport, just being those guys being so relatable and just normal people. But International Fight Week, man, everybody that is known to be known is there. So that would be unreal to be at the what do they call that, convention. And just to meet some of those guys.
They're signing autographs. There's the whole week is just amazing. The picture of the belt.
I'm sure if you were just in Vegas yourself, you're going to run into people nonstop. I do have a prediction, though. I think this weekend at some point, they're going to announce Amanda Nunes versus Kayla Harrison. They're going to really sell that thing. I think it's going to start this week.
I think it hasn't been announced yet, or I think it's
I don't think they've announced anything yet.
Or I think they're definitely fighting, but they just know when.
Yeah, I just think this is going to be like an official poster date. They're going to put.
Could be. I bet that's probably the co-main event for the end of the year fight.
You think so?
November, I would say.
Yeah, November, December. They both have big cards.
The co-main event, I think it would be the.
I think it can main event. I think it could main event a pay-per-view. I really
to
do.
me and you, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kayla Harrison, just for the. I think I try not to think like you and I think of the. I want to the regular fan who watches Tough every now and then. Hey, there's the undercard on. We'll watch this on ESPN.
Yeah.
I try to think like that to where. Half of them don't know Kayla Harrison is.
Right.
She came from, not even Strikeforce, was it?
She came from PFL.
Yeah, PFL. Yeah. I mean, she's not, to you and I, people that are a part of the sport,
right,
100% know it's going to be amazing. Her struggle to get down to 35. We know that. But like, hey, who's Kayla Harrison? Oh, I seen her one time. Boy, she looks big.
I know.
And they would just move on.
It sucks because you're right. They need names to market. And that just comes with building a sport. Right now, they're in a tough spot because I've never seen MMA at a higher level in the UFC. They just need some names to pop out. I think Islam, I think Topuria is the superstar. These guys are going to have to carry the sport because we got some guys like Adesanya that's transitioning out. Like, there's a lot of champions or top names that are no longer, and there's got to be a new wave to pick it up.
Here's the thing that, I think I agree that it's at the highest it's been, but where we're really struggling in is... There aren't many American champions.
They needed O'Malley to win.
Yeah, there isn't very many name recognition from them. I really can't, off the top of my head.
Think of American champ?
Yeah, I can't.
Kayla Harrison.
From Ohio. Other than that, but she just became world champion. You're right. But go down a list. There's no American, and America is just spoiled. We've been that's the way it is. There's no Sean O'Malley. People's going to see his Lamborghini, and okay, that's cool, but there's no. I want to see. To me and you, hell yes, I want to see it.
Yeah.
Islam is going to be that fight's going to be amazing.
Yeah, Islam versus JDM. It looks like that's going to come out. But let's get into UFC 317, man. We're going to talk about some of the prelims, but really kicking it with the feature prelim, and then we're going to get into the main card. And the feature prelim is Jack Hermanson versus Gregory RoboCop Rodriguez. Two different styles. I think RoboCop Rodriguez is one of the most exciting fighters to watch. And Jack Hermanson, man, he's tough as they come. He's a vet, a lot of ground game, jiu-jitsu. How you see that fight playing out, Boogie?
Yeah, I think RoboCop just crushes him. If Hermanson, again, doesn't catch him, the submissions are next level. Don't get me wrong, but RoboCop, you can't hurt that dude if he doesn't gas out and get tired of hitting him. But other than that, Hermansson's where he used to be 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. I mean, he was ranked.
Yeah, he was pretty.
He was pretty decent. High, yeah. He could hold. I mean, he could hold his own. But
yeah,
RoboCop isn't. Nobody would know him about. If you
Hermansson doesn't have like finishing ability with the hands, so
anyway, he has to get to the ground. He can submit anybody.
Yeah,
but
RoboCop's a legit.
Yeah, he's
third-degree black belt too in jiu-jitsu. I will say this: if the fight was a 5-round main event, and we'll say the Apex, I'd give Hermansson a shot because Rodriguez can't gas himself out. He can. He's going to throw big shots. During the fight, you watch the fight, Hermansson's going to be very active. RoboCop is going to be swinging and missing crazy. The one time he connects is going to be the thud that might win the round.
Yeah.
But in a 3-round fight, man, he shouldn't have any problems, and I don't think the gas tank will be an issue.
No, we said a 5-round fight, totally different. But
yeah, that's how he lost his last fight, Jared Cannonier. He got tired of beating him up and got caught.
Tired. But I mean, hell, he beat the hell out of him. Both of them were beat to death like planet. But that's dude's a machine. So 3 rounds is his sweet spot. He'll be.
Yeah, I think for a feature prelim, that's going to be a good fight to get things going. Maybe get people to buy because the fights from the early prelims all the way through are pretty competitive fights. There's not these huge, overwhelming favorites. I think the first fight of the night is a gigantic favorite, and Nico Price and who's the other guy he's fighting? Oh, the dude's minus 2,000. Yeah, I can see his name. But anyways, that fight, other than that, the fights are pretty good odds-wise, so it should be making for a competitive fight. But if we go into the main card, the first fight, kicking it off, is Peyton Talbot and Felipe Lima. Felipe Lima, he's 13-1. Peyton Talbot, 9-1. Some of the best prospects up and coming right now are going to be kicking off 317. I love it.
I'm surprised, actually, that the UFC would pit 2, because they are both have the potential to be there.
Yeah.
And to be, I mean, they're on a pay-per-view card, don't get me wrong, but, I mean, these are 2 legitimate prospects, and they're fighting each other early. I mean, that's a gamble for the UFC.
So, what I see from that is I think all the eyes are on the main card. They want to get whoever the winner of this. Propel them.
Yeah, and they'll put his name out.
Another thing I read was the UFC learned a lot about Peyton Talbot last fight. Okay, they think he was a minus 2,000 favorite or minus 1,500 favorite, lost every round because he got wrestled to death. He had no takedown defense. I don't know if the UFC realized maybe this guy has a gaping hole. Let's get Felipe Lima, get his stock up by fighting, because a lot of people know who Peyton Talbot is. Not a lot of people know who Lima is, and Lima is nasty.
You're right. I mean, that's 100% true. Because, I mean, he was exposed. He was...
Oh, it was bad. It was wide open, eyes wide open. Wow.
And he was, I mean, hopefully he made some improvements on the ground game, but he was just completely overwhelmed on the ground. It was bad. I mean, they could be thrown to the wolves.
Yeah.
Let me get Lima's name out there, and he just beat somebody 9-1, and if he can finish him.
Or if Peyton Talbot, I don't know when the last time he fought. I forget when that was. Maybe he improved on that because his striking is there, man. If it gets into a stand-up war, it's going to be nice. Peyton Talbot throws a ton of strikes. He's pinpoint accurate, and he's very powerful. And I was impressed before that last fight, man. I thought he was a superstar.
He was there. He was in the making because no one could get him down. I mean, they was always getting knocked down.
Yeah, right.
But, I mean, once
they
you're
said
down,
if Peyton Talbot would have beat Barcelos, that's who, Ronnie Barcelos, if he'd have beat him, they were going to match him up with Cody Garbrandt because that would have been a good fight, and that would have been the notch that he needed to shoot him up. Now things have taken a turn. Now he's fighting a hungry up-and-comer that maybe he's going to make a name off him. It's an exciting fight. Should make for fireworks to lead off the main card, man.
Win for the UFC. I, mean,
I think so.
Either one stock, you can put them up like you said.
And they're not going to be out if one of them loses because Peyton Talbot's still young. He's 26 years old. He would be 9-2 if he loses. That's not something he couldn't come back from. So I think as a main card, the starter, they're going to get some notoriety off that fight, and people's going to realize who Felipe Lima is.
That's going to be, like I said, the eyes are going to be watching. They're going to know who he is after this fight. That's for sure. Either one of them. Talbot's already known, but if whatever you look at.
Yeah, so I was looking. Size is one of the things that come up to me in this fight. Peyton Talbot's 5'10". That's pretty big for 135. Just to think, like, I think the champ Marab is maybe like 5'4", 5'5", you know what I mean, maybe. And Lima's 5'6". So, I mean, the age is the same. I got the stats in front of me. I don't know, man. If I had to pick my thoughts is I don't think the fight is going to go to decision. I'm not sure where I'm rooting because it's a coin flip odds. I think Lima's like maybe minus 120, you know?
It's tough, just because of the way Talbot was beat last time. That's the only thing.
I know, recency bias,
and
man.
If he gets taken down again, he would have to make significant improvements in his ground game because he was completely overwhelmed on the ground. Couldn't get up. And, I mean, there's a 3-round fight. He gets taken down 3 times. Fight's over.
Yeah, if he can't get up, they're going to... Yep. So, but I think if he gets taken down by Lima, he's getting finished. Lima's 2-0 in the UFC. He's nasty. If I had to make a pick, like I said, I'm going fight not to go the distance. But I'm going to root for Peyton Talbot, man. I still think he's a superstar. Yeah. He catches the chin, man. That's who I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to take Peyton Talbot by TKO.
That's going to be the one way he's going to win. So, I mean, I think Lima's going to.
I'm going by heart right now.
Or I'm looking to where he's either going to get taken down and just completely dominated for 3 rounds, or he gets caught. We haven't seen Lima too much stand up. He's nice,
right?
But Talbot was,
and we haven't seen it in any kind of competition, so we're gonna find out a lot, and I'm excited for it. And that's crazy. We talked that much over the first fight of the main card. Second fight is how do you say Moicano? Hanato Moicano, Money Moicano, 20-6, fighting Benel Dariush. He is 22-6. This fight was supposed to be originally scheduled for January. Dariush had to pull out. They had to pull out. They had Sarukian pulled out of the fight with Islam. Moicano stepped up and fought Islam. At the time, Moicano was minus 300 to fight Dariush. Now we go 6 months. Moicano loses to Islam. No shame in that. Dariush has not fought. Some reason the odds are Moicano minus 120, dude. I don't get it. That's 6 months older. Dariush is already old.
I'm betting the money. Money Moicano, I'm betting the house because Dariush, I mean, he's got more gray hair than I got, and he's still fighting.
They're both 36, but
I mean,
Moicano looks like he's...
I'm betting Moicano all the way because where he was at, he was clowning people the whole way up.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're losing to Islam, come on, that's no. I mean, anybody's going to lose to him.
Right. And there's no shame in that.
Dariush, I mean, I think last time Dariush fought him, he got knocked out cold.
Yeah, he got knocked out cold. Oliveira, I think, knocked him out.
Put him to sleep.
And then Moicano he has good striking, but his game is submissions, man. He's slick on the ground. Michael Chiesa submitted Dariush when he got him down. If Moicano gets him down, man, I could see he has some of the most brutal ground and pound. They set these submissions up. I will say this. Moicano is tendencies to getting hit, and Dariush does have power. So that's why the odds, I think, are even now. But 6 months ago, it was minus 300.
Yeah, I'm taking Moicano
all the way. I had 2 bets. Hainsey's the best bet, and I have Hainsey's long shot parlay, and Moicano is a part of that. So we'll get into that, man.
That's going to be. I would bet the house on that.
That's another fight, man. It is. I don't think can miss because a lot of times when these fights go to the ground, they're like, oh man, this is going to be a lay and pray. This is going to be 5 minutes of nothing.
Dariush can play on. He's pretty tough on the ground too. So
right. But I think to the casual fan, when it sees things go to the ground, they're like, oh man, this sucks. I think when this fight, if it goes to the ground, it's still going to be dynamic, dude. Like you said, Dariush might be able just to sweep real quick and pop him up, but the power's there with Dariush. It's going to make for an exciting fight.
I think he's going to get mauled personally, just because Dariush, he's just not.
I'm not as high on Moicano, but I am Saturday.
He's just been a kind of. He was okay. His name was there for a little bit. He was just never, in my opinion, he's there, but he's never there.
Right.
His name's always around, but every time any good fight comes up, he gets beat.
That Drakkar Close fought him, and Drakkar Close is not even a ranked
mid.
Yeah, not even ranked, and he had him hurt so bad. We're talking about Dariush. Dariush hit him with a counter, changed the fight completely, but he was on his way of getting knocked out by him, and Dariush is just one of those guys, like you said. I think when the competition gets stiff, he gets dropped, man.
He's not.
So, but that is a pretty good fight.
Yeah, Moicano.
The feature fight on the main card is the next fight. Brandon Royval versus Joshua Van. Royval 17-7. Joshua Van 21-3. How do you see this fight playing out, Boogie? Because I have some thoughts of myself.
Royval he's always in every fight, man. He's exciting. Van, I haven't seen as much as Van as I have seen for.
Royval's fought the top guys.
The losses he has. I mean, he's lost to Pantoja. He's lost.
Yeah, he's lost to all of them, man. He's lost to Albazi. He's lost to Brandon Moreno. He's lost to guys in title fights. So he has a lot of experience. The one thing about Joshua Van, I will say this. He gets going, and once he gets going in that second or third round, when he starts ramping it up, he really starts putting people away. He's taking a short notice fight. I think he fought last pay-per-view, I think, and he ended up finishing a guy in, I think, the third round. He's young. He's 23, fighting a guy with a lot of championship experience. Even though Brandon Royval hasn't been on the right side, I think this is too quick to take the Brandon Royval, man.
Royval's got the experience, like I said, but again, the people he's lost to has been the best of the best he's lost to. He hasn't lost to no scrubs.
Yeah.
Van got the youth in him maybe, but it's going to be, I don't know how much chin that Royval has left. I mean,
we're going to find out a lot of things because Van does bring a punch. They said this is maybe one of the biggest guys that Josh Van has ever fought, so that's not good. Even though the height is only 2 inches, I think the reach is like upwards of 5 or 6 because Royval has long arms. He's very rangy.
Too,
I could see him winning the decision. I could see some excitement happen in that third round when Joshua Van goes nuts. I like Brandon Royval, and on the odds, Brandon Royval right now is plus 120. So the public right now is on Joshua Van. I think it's a lot of recency bias because Van just fought. But he's stepping up way high in this, man.
Royval, I mean, when's the last time he's fought a 3-round fight?
Right.
Hell, he's been how many
and he's
5-rounders?
fighting killers, man. He was supposed to fight Manel Kopp, and Manel Kopp backed out like he always does.
Yeah.
That would have been a crazy fight. Yeah, but
he's got the mouth. Kopp, but his mouth gets him where he's at.
Yes.
I mean, but still, Royval in a 3-round fight.
Yeah. I just don't understand the odds, man. I think it's just because it's recently biased. I don't understand how Joshua Van is a favorite against a guy that's fought, we'll say 5 times against top 15. And Joshua Van's best win was his last fight against ranked number 13, I believe.
Could it be when the sharp money's going to come in closer to the fight? Now, I could see it happen a lot, especially
It could flip by Saturday. It could flip and Royval be the favorite.
I mean, it's kind of a coin flip right now, but I could see a lot of sharp money at that number getting shoved big on Royval just because of what I talked about. 3 rounds, he's a machine.
Yeah, I'm telling you what, full disclosure, no matter what happens to Joshua Van, he is a future 125 dude. He's 23 years old. If he would pull off this fight, he's going to be real quick to a title shot, and I'll believe in him. I think this is just too early. Way to step up and save the fight. He's not going to embarrass himself, but I just think it's too much, man. I Brandon Royval by decision.
Yeah, that's a safe bet.
I'm telling you what, the last couple of pay-per-views, our predictions haven't been quite the best, but you know what? In this game, you're going to lose a lot. I mean, it just happens. This is so unpredictable, but we're giving it our best shot.
That's a fight game. That's anyway. I mean, it can switch that easy. Anybody can win. Everybody's got Mike Tyson. Everybody's got a plan to get hit in the mouth. All of a sudden,
a smart person once said, "It only takes one." That was your wife, Leah Purdue, said, "It only takes one. One shot, they go out," and that's true. The much as we watched any fight ever, they could be minus 2,000. They get clacked on the chin. It's over. We've seen it happen. Yep. That's why we love the sport. So we're gonna be wrong a lot, guys. So don't be getting on us too much.
And so I still say we're more right than we are wrong. I would take our average over most people. I'd say.
Co-main event, flyweight championship, and which is a good thing because if one of these guys, if one of these guys somehow have a bad weight cut, they have Brandon Royval or Joshua Van to step up on short notice. That was smart. In the co-main event, we have Alexandre Pantoja. He is 29-5 versus fan favorite Kai Kara France at 25-11, who I think is undeserving of this title fight. Where are we at, Boogie?
Kara France is a bum. He's a fake. I'm telling you, he's going to get exposed. He's not. He gets some shots in. There's no. He trains with Israel Adesanya is why he gets his name.
And he has good pop from
125. Good pop, and he can move around, but I mean, Moreno just put him out with a liver shot last time. But
Every time he steps up in competition, he gets exposed.
He's a fraud. I hate him. He embarrassed Cody. He said, I don't like him for that.
Yeah.
I mean, he went down and was...
Oh, he buried Cody. But I will say this. I seen him live in Columbus a few years ago. The crowd went berserk for him. I bet the other guy in Kai France wanted a decision that I thought was questionable. But he does have a following. He does pack a punch. The thing about this... Pantoja, fight IQ through the roof. He gets him down, he's going to be on his back, and it's going to be like that for an entire round, dude. I think he's going to wear on him. I think he's going to wrestle him. I don't think he's going to fight him stand up. I can see a late round submission, round 4, round 3, maybe round 5. I can see Pantoja overwhelming him, man.
Pantoja's been hit by the best. A long time best. Yeah. And he comes through. He's going to... You think you hurt him, might stun him, but he's going to be there. He's going to... If it goes to late rounds, I see France getting caught. Again, Kai France catches him with a good shot. But, I mean, he's Pantoja's chin. He's shown up Moreno, the boxing, boom, boom, boom.
The guy he just fought was a better striker than Kai France. Asakura or whatever.
The champion
it was undefeated they brought in. He's a better striker than Kai France, but anybody can get caught. I just think...
the ground, he was just...
Pantoja's smart, man. He's going to grind on him. First couple rounds, kind of like Ankalaev. We called that with Pereira. He's going to grind on him, get that power away, and he'll end up dirty boxing him, get him down. Once Kai France starts worrying about the takedown, he might get pieced up trying to think, bite on these feints. But I can see Pantoja finish him. The popular pick is Pantoja by decision, but I see Pantoja one-way traffic, man. I see a striker getting dominated.
I could see, I would say Pantoja by finish. I don't know what round, but I could see the late rounds, 4 or 5 maybe, because it depends on how comfortable he's winning. Because he can, when he's up, he's not going to risk anything.
No, he'll ride it out. You're right. But I see if he gets his back, he'll go to finish.
Oh, yeah. If he has opportunities, he's definitely going to take it. But he's not going to risk anything on the ground.
At minus 275, I see Pantoja as a value because I see him way better. But I've been wrong before. But I'm really, really confident in Alexandre Pantoja, man.
You said he's totally undeserving of this shot. It's not... I mean, I guess he's the only left because Pantoja's ran through the whole division.
Right.
Twice, basically. So,
yeah.
I mean, I want to see Comp, and that'll be a good fight if Manel Comp and Pantoja, because they have sort of the same skill set, but Pantoja, just his fight IQ is just above.
I like Manel Comp. I see it in him. He's just arrogant, and he makes the wrong decisions. I see it in him, though. He's dynamic. He's explosive. The UFC could sell him. But there's always something holding him back, and it's himself.
It could be. I could see him either getting caught or, like I said, his mouth gets him in trouble or anything. And what was the fight? I can't remember back when they talked back and forth. There was almost a fist fight between him and Israel Adesanya.
It was Car France.
It was Car France.
Oh, was it Car France?
But there was somebody else stepped in, and it was a snooze fest. Dana White was like, "What?" They was talking.
Was Muhammad Makhachev or whatever. He's undefeated. They kicked him out.
Kicked him out because I'm bored.
Yeah, he was so boring. He was undefeated and he got fired. All right, so moving on. Official pick for both of us, Pantoja. In the main event, Ilia Topuria, 16-0, fighting Charles do Bronx Oliveira. 35-10. Fan favorite Oliveira, man. We've seen him fight for years in the vacant lightweight championship. Topuria minus 500. Man, that's a lot. For a guy moving up in weight, fighting a guy that's big for the division, that's a lot. Do I think it's warranted? Maybe. Because you're looking at a guy that's 28 in his prime, fighting a guy that's been in so many wars at 35. But Charles Oliveira... Man, is he a fan favorite, and I love him.
He's a favorite. He's favorite for a reason, because he puts on a show, and he's going to do... But his chin, he gets hit, and people dive on him. And he gets knocked down. I think he has one of the highest knockdown rate, being knocked down in the UFC history, because he falls down, and then people dive on him.
Right.
Now, you're not getting hit. Now, Topuria, we talked about before, whenever...
we're talking... we talking Oliveira getting knocked down, or we talking Topuria?
Topuria, whenever he was training with...
he was training?
Yeah, when it's with the street fighter from Miami.
Who, Masvidal?
No. Yeah, Masvidal, sorry.
Yeah.
Masvidal was training with him early, and he says, "You're going to be a world champion one day." He said...
This was early,
now, Masvidal's 170. This kid's at 45.
He was 145 at the time,
and he says, "You're going to be a world champ someday." He said it was just something different, his shots. And Masvidal's been street fighting. He's been hit by the best. he said, "You're going to be world champ someday, long before this happened." So somebody's been hit by him and knows just sparring. Hey, there's something. You got something. That type of pop.
Yeah,
it's hard to discount that.
And he was a grappler to start, and now they're saying he could be a professional boxer that could be a champ if he chose to be. You know, his hands are that good.
Just different. I mean, he's one of the people could be built different. I mean,
so he's 145 champ, vacated his belt to move up because Islam vacated his belt, so he's moving up. Now, what they're saying with the weight gain, because usually guys drop down, the power is going to be even more because he's putting 10 more pounds of muscle. The speed is still there. My thing is the size going to be there? Will he get out-muscled? Can Oliveira get him up against the cage, Muay Thai him, dirty box him? And if he gets Topuria down, that's a different animal. Yeah. Nobody's better on your back than Charles Oliveira.
No, that's why I could see now if Topuria doesn't put him to sleep with that shot, stuns him and knocks him down, like we talked about before we went on air, bring him back up. Let's get to your feet, because now, I mean, Charles Oliveira can throw hands too, but I mean, Topuria is different. He's got the power. It's a different type of shot. That much, but again, if you look at him stand by side, I think Oliveira's like almost a foot taller than him.
Yeah, well, right now they have it listed 5'7" Topuria to 5'10" Oliveira. I don't think that's right. That is giving Topuria a little bit because he's going to look way bigger. Oliveira is. I will say this: his last fight, Arman Tsarukyan and Charles Oliveira fought, and I said Tsarukyan's going to run through him. It's explosive up-and-comer versus the old dog. And the fight IQ with Charles Oliveira won a split decision because of his grappling, man. He was smart, didn't get chinny. And if he's smart here, he doesn't even test the waters. I think he should lose grappling him and not even try to stand-up fight.
Why are you going to don't mess with fire?
Unless you close the distance because his knees are nasty.
And Tsarukyan he's a wrestler, grappler too. And but he was smart enough to, hey, I'm better than you down here.
Right. So
I'm not standing up with Topuria. Whatever it takes if we're going to grapple. But I mean, Topuria's a different guy. He is. He could be that guy, man.
And I said a couple shows back, man, there was a couple guys that because I collect cards, and the one guy that I wanted to invest in was Ilia Topuria because I think he is the next guy. I think this is a fight card that will propel him to stardom. I think after this fight, he will be fighting at home in Spain. They will give him his own card. I think it's a vicious knockout Saturday night. It's going to break my heart, but my head says it is going to be a mauling like Volkanovski was, man.
I could see him. I could see him just running through him, hit him, because he knows he can't stand a distance with Oliveira. He's going to come in, and whenever he hits him,
he's going to be faster,
it's a different
and it's
type
going to
of
be
power.
Yeah, right.
And then just got to be smart enough not to follow him to the ground, get back up to your feet. I mean, the experience will go so far, and he's been in the shooter box where he trains. Right. They train full force.
Right.
So I mean that's a lot of people don't take into account. There are those Brazilian people now. They train like full 100%.
Their sparring sessions are fights.
They're that good. I mean, but you get that good by fighting that good. But you still take it the good, the bad. You take miles off of your life. I mean, there's times your chins are not going to be there because of your breathing isn't training all the time. Not that. I think Topuria's just too much. He's too young.
I do too. I think the speed, the power. Oliveira's been knocked down with lesser, but I would love to see Oliveira come Saturday night. Man, I might be rooting for him, but there's no bet I'm ever going to place on Charles Oliveira.
I bet that minus 500 goes up too.
You think so? Yeah, I don't know, man, because there's a lot of people that like Oliveira.
I mean, maybe but none of that sharp money is going to go on Oliveira.
Oh, no, you're right. None of the sharp money. I mean, people that know what they're talking about.
Fans are going to
but if a lot of fans tune in, they're going to be betting Charles Oliveira just because they know who he is. So to wrap up our 317 talk, I have two bets. I have my best bet that I really think these three guys are going to go out and get it done. And then I have my long shot parlay that if you want to sprinkle a little bit, can make a lot of money. So I'm usually good for 2 out of 3, guys. Full disclosure, that last leg always kills me. So if you guys want to bet 2 of these, that would be smart. Put them either way. But here's my best bet. Gregory Rodriguez, minus 210 to win, to beat Jack Hermanson. I just love the matchup. I think Rodriguez in a 3-round fight gets it done. My second leg with that is, where's it at here? Brandon Royval at plus 120 to beat Joshua Van. And my last leg is Pantoja to retain his title. He's at minus 265. $10 wins you 31. So you can put in $10, win 41 bucks, or if you want to be a big dog, rake that thing up. Comment below. Tell me you won. Thank Hainsey.
Those are three solid bets, man. I see that win. I don't see a bad call there. I mean,
every time we agree, dude. 2 out of 3. Somebody comes in and really.
I mean, you've hit 2 out of 3 for the past.
5 or 6. 66% is good.
That's good. Yeah. That'll make money in Vegas.
Yeah. All right. So my long shot parlay. If you want to put $5 or $10 to try to win some big money, $10 can win $375. I have 2 fights. Well, actually, all fights are by finish. I have an early prelim. Terrence McKinney, a guy we didn't talk about, versus Varshalov Borchev. I think I butchered his first name. His last name's Borchev. Huge kickboxer. Very big hole with the grappling. I think Terrence McKinney gets him down early. His aggressive nature, I think he subs him. That's plus 320. Then I got Gregory RoboCop Rodriguez. I'm tapping in again, man. I think he gets it done by knockout. I see a Hermanson at 37 years old not being able to take that power. He's at plus 240. And then Money Moricano to round out my long shot bet to make us some money at plus 170 to win inside the distance. And hopefully I hit that, man. That'd be nice.
I like that's close. I mean, they all sound good right now to me.
I know, right on Wednesday night, man.
It's
hopefully, hey, I'm taking shots. You guys can comment below if you think they're W's or L's. Let me know after the fight. Hainsey, you really stink. And I'm like, yep, you try it. Let's see how it goes. So that wraps up our 317 talk. Something happened this week, Boogie. Let's talk about real quick. You text me like Tuesday, Wednesday night. What's going on with Hainsey's Cave Talk?
Yeah, we got a fight club in Zanesville, a guy I work with, Tim Lear. His boy fought very first amateur fight, but 18-year-old guy. I say kid, he looks like he's 14, but he fought a guy 27 years old, first fight, and he looked really polished. He looked good. I mean,
I'll give credit, man. On the ground, he looked pretty
Justin
good.
Starcher's his name.
Okay.
He looked really good. And the club, Sprawlin' and Brawlin' out of Zanesville, Ohio.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah.
Thanks for the subs, guys. Thanks for tuning in and watching us talk and gibberish about MMA.
They took two fighters. They traveled as a team, which they all should.
That's
it's good
pretty sweet, yeah.
And then they went 2-0 as a club, so you can't round that out. They talk about maybe going to Canton, I think, maybe not sure. Tim will comment below like exactly what it was, but there's a bigger event coming up that they're people coming to.
Oh, maybe we'll go and check them out.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, they're close enough that we could have before, as long as lost softball's gonna be over. So, but yeah, I mean,
Justin definitely go check him out. He looked good.
The guy tried to take him down. That was his worst mistake because then he got dominated on the ground. And once he went to the ground, and Tim tells us that just the strength that boy has, and he got down on that guy, had one or no parts of the ground game.
For an 18-year-old kid, man, he was pretty composed on the ground.
And then the second round, he just came out and threw him down. Ref should have probably stopped him when he full mounted and started hammering him. He let it go because as soon as he got the choke in, he was looking for a way out.
Right.
I mean, 27-year-old man against I don't take this wrong way, 18-year-old kid, and he looked really good.
Absolutely.
First fight ever. I mean, he looked really good.
So huge shout out to you guys. Thank you for following, and hopefully the future's bright. And we keep talking about you guys every week. Shout us out. Let us know some of the fighters when the schedule's coming up. We'd love to check it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they're close to people I know, and he had our normal UFC they had right next to the cage. We've seen with the
I seen the video. Yeah.
So I mean, it was.
I watched the fight. It was good, and it was close. Yeah, it was good. So. 2 things. Rich Tinsley asked us to talk about the middleweight division. He said there's always been middleweight goats. He's correct. Now the middleweight division's kind of opened up a little bit more. And he thinks this might be some of the most in-depth that the division has been. So let's talk about the top 10, man. Because he could be right. There's a lot of good fighters in this top 10.
I mean, it's the most diverse, I would say. There's right. no somebody running away with it right now.
There could be.
There
could be. There's a guy.
There could be. I know a guy.
Yeah.
It could be. I hope not. I don't know.
You're a big
DDP.
You're a big DDP guy. He's going to fight for the championship. He is a champ. But let's kick it off. Number 10, Jared Killer Gorilla Cannonier, dude. What's not to say about that guy?
He's got the chin. He's been in wars with everybody. He brings it every single. You know that you're never going to get a lazy version of Cannonier.
Yeah. And that guy's somebody that was fighting a heavyweight.
Man, amazing.
You know, it's crazy that he come down that far.
I mean, it's how much he has the power at every weight class. And I mean, middleweight.
He finished Gregory Rodriguez. I'm pretty sure Gregory Rodriguez is not on this list, but he's an up-and-comer too. So, I mean, that's number 10. Number 9 is another guy that pretty exciting, Kyle Bahia. He's fighting soon. Yeah. And that's a really good fight out of the Fighting Nerds, dude. He's unreal. What's his record? He's undefeated, right?
He's going to be fighting Imanov. No, he's not undefeated. At UFC, I think he's undefeated.
Well, 17-1. You're right.
But he's fighting Imanov now, who just beat.
Imanov just. Yep. Yeah.
And he stepped out of the backup fight for the title.
Yeah.
To take this fight because he wants.
Yeah,
him and Kyle Bahia have had behind the scenes. They jab back and forth on social media and. They're going to get it all, and that's what I like to see. They're both in their prime. That's
right. Yeah, that's good. That's a great fight. And we'll get into Imanov because he's further up on the rankings. Then you have one of the all-time GOATs that's still in the picture, Israel Adesanya, man. You can never count him out. He's a fan favorite, but he's done it on the downward slope. But that kind of speaks to the depth of the division where he's still sitting there at 8, man.
He took too much. I mean, he's fought too much. He didn't.
He's lost his last 3.
Yeah, he didn't take the time off in between. Because, I mean, when you're the champ, you're fighting the best. Yeah. You've got to take some time off, and he was just going boom, boom, boom. Thought he was invincible.
Yeah, right.
I mean, he's lost to the
But
best
I give him a lot of respect because he was green in the ground game, and he really improved throughout the years. He really put in the work. Number 7 is a guy that I think is kind of a fraud still. We're going to find out a lot. I could be wrong. I could be, swallowing a big piece and just completely wrong, but that's RDR, Renier de Ridder, man. Where do you see him in numbers?
Like him. I don't know why. I'm telling you, we're going to find out.
I just think his stand-up skills are really, really bad.
He was a 2-1 championship.
I know. He's legit.
He's lost to one person his whole career.
I know.
He embarrassed your boy Bo, and that's.
But that's not a. Because Bo's not even a top 15 guy. You know what I mean? So I think this is a big test with him coming up. He's got a fight coming up to somebody that's higher in the rankings that I will learn a lot, and I will give him his flowers if he pulls it.
I think he's not spectacular in stand up, there's no doubt, but his ground game that you've already seen is just next level.
I will say this, dude, he's huge for the division.
Massive. You can't.
And Whitaker's small. So I mean that could be.
Yeah, I mean
I'm gonna bet against him forever until he proves me wrong. In the fight he's gonna be fighting Robert Whitaker. If RDR beats him, I will stop betting against him, dude, because
you'll still hate on him.
I don't believe it. I don't believe in it. But you're right. He was a 2-division champ. I know all about it. I know all about it. So
2 losses, the same one guy.
Another guy, number 6, that just keeps hanging around. He beats people he's supposed to. Every time he moves up, seems like he just comes up short. That's Sean Strickland, man. I mean, how do you feel about him, brother?
He's where he should be. 6 is about right there. He got the jump and got Adesanya probably on a downturn. One, he sharp. Adesanya should have taken that fight.
Right.
He should have took it off, and he came against the hungry. I mean, because you know what you're going to get Stricken all the time.
Yeah.
He's going to pepper that jab, stay back there, stand up, and that's exactly what you're getting all the time.
He comes forward. He has that awkward stance.
I mean, he's going to blitz.
Fights in a shell a little bit.
He has almost like a karate stance where he's standing straight up, but he can reach you.
Right.
It was just
he rolls punches at the greatest, man. He does.
Awkward style. I mean, DDP and exposed him twice. I think embarrassed.
Yeah, the first fight was competitive. I think DDP really just showed his improvements and really dominated him. Well, I like what I'll say about Sean Strickland, man. He's tough as they come. Alex Pereira knocked him out, but there's not too many people Alex Pereira doesn't knock out, so that's no shame in his game. That's another guy that was at 185 that would still be dominant, but he moved up. So that's another person that you would say is probably a top 5 middleweight right now if he would make the weight, if he wanted to, because, I mean, he's as good as they come.
That weight cut is massive.
Oh, it's huge.
It's so terrible. That's the way we're going back to Kayla Harrison. I told you when we were talking about that last pound. They said people didn't know I wrestled in high school. That last pound, and I don't cut anywhere near what they cut.
Yeah.
That last pound.
It looked like it was a death of her.
It is so horrible. You're like, what's just a pound? It's not. It is not that. Oh, just get it off. It's not. It's not like hell.
So I know you don't watch The Ultimate Fighter, right? You haven't been watching.
I haven't watched it in a while.
Okay. So this week there was a guy that missed weight by 6 pounds. Okay. Going into the fight, he was like 12 hours away. No, we're getting completely sidetracked, but I'll tell this real quick. Like 6 hours away from weighing in, and he just wasn't going to make it. He was supposed to get down to 170. He was at 176.5. And Chael Sonnen stopped in, or stepped in and was just like, hey, you're not sweating anymore. You're not going to make the weight. Let me call and see if this guy would fight at a certain weight.
Catch weight.
Yeah, catch weight. He said, no, he'll fight at 170. So what Chael Sonnen did was the first time ever in Ultimate Fighter history was he offered $1,000 per pound every pound that the guy misses by weight. And the fighter said, no, we're not doing $1,000. We're going to do $2,500 per pound. That was like 12 G's that he made off of accepting this fight. He accepted the fight. The guy wasn't allowed to rehydrate till he made weight. He had to stay there. So he was 6 pounds heavier on weigh-in time. I watch fights. I watch Ultimate Fighter religiously with my wife. That's one of the shows we watch. I told her, I said, this guy is going to weigh in the next day 20 pounds heavier. And this happens religiously. You know what I mean? Routine. But he made weight at 165.5. The guy made 13,000, I think is what he ended up making. And the dude that missed weight got knocked out or lost the decision and got beat up pretty good. And it was like justice. Perfect. You know, you don't want to see a guy... You don't want to see a guy miss weight.
I mean, that's a huge weight cut. I mean, Chael did the right thing. You're going to stop here, but you can. And Chael is a professional. Why? That's right. I mean, there's weight classes we talk about. Weight classes for a reason.
If the guy didn't take the fight, his fighter was probably just going to get DQ'd and move on because they weren't going to be in that far up. But what I was talking about, what made me bring that up was Alex Pereira, man. These guys, when they hydrate, they can get up 20 pounds in a day, 30 pounds in a day. It's capable.
They get the weight back. What you lose, though, is the power. You can't, I mean, you weigh in at 89, and then you come in at 220. You lose that pop.
That's a lot of water weight, right.
And that's what it is. You just rehydrate yourself. You haven't did any type of muscle training because you've been sweating trying to get that weight down.
Stamina is usually
your body is zapped.
Yeah,
and
that bad of a cut. Right.
Oh man, you just can't. I mean, you made the weight, but
right.
I mean, but to get knocked out, justice. I would talk about him like a dog.
Dude, I told Shasta, I was like, I am rooting for this guy to lose. So I said it's not professional. I said for a guy, and then not to get completely off topic, but beginning of the week, Chael said these guys are professionals. I will sit back and if he says he can make this weight doing this, doing that, 2 times he was like, I can eat this meal and be fine. And Chael was like, he's a professional, I'll let him go. No, and he shouldn't have, man. Yeah, because he never even came close.
There's no way.
Never even sniffed it, dude. They had to stop him because he was not. That's just bad. You're just not a professional.
You're being a punk is what it is.
And here's the thing, man. I see a lot of good things in that fight. He could be a good fighter, and he was probably. And Chael said. Well, Dana said Chael must think he's going to win to pay that kind of money. If he thought it was a losing battle, he wouldn't have put it out of his own pocket. But he handed him cash, man.
Well, I mean, that guy had to be. I mean, he could have just take a win and move on to get
close to the title. That's what that guy could have did.
He says, "No, I'm going to take your money," and then
that was smart business by that guy.
So he must have.
And that was a U.S. guy, Jeff Creighton, that got the win. So that was pretty sweet.
No fighter thinks you're going to lose when they come in. That's a good thing about the sport.
All right, so the next guy we're going to talk about is we're creeping into the top 5. Somebody that nobody knows about, Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, dude. He's on a hell of a streak. Getting him, he gets you on the ground, his pace is relentless. Nobody's going to want to fight this guy. That's why nobody knows who he is. Yeah, it really is. He's a matchup nightmare.
Nobody, I mean, even top grapplers don't want to go to the ground game because he has good stand-up. He can put you out too, stand up, but the ground game is where he can lean on
He's an unknown guy that's really, I mean, I can see Strickland being matched up with him. Nobody wants to fight him. That ranking's going to stay there for a while. He's going to have to really build and get somebody.
Strickland Hernandez, that'd be a good fight there.
Yeah, right. You know? I think Hernandez's last fight, I think he rode out a decision.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think it was a dominant. It was a decision. And then he won 3 fights in a row by finish. So the guy is a killer.
Yeah, he can.
And we get into the top 4. Robert the Reaper Whitaker, dude. I feel like he's been at the top division at 185 for years.
Former champ. Was it 2-time or no? Only once.
He was interim. Adesanya knocked him out. Yeah. What can't you say about him? 26-8, fought the who's who. Chimaev really put a hurting on him, but the guy is tough as nails.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to war, I want him on my side because he is going to come and whatever it takes to win. That man's just an animal. He's going to be there. Good dude, good person too.
Yeah, right. Always says the right things. Very likable.
Yeah, but he's in the ring. And then when you're in a cage, he's an animal. He's going to do whatever it takes to win. But He's not an asshole.
The one thing I will say about Robert Whittaker, and it's been something I've thought about for a long time with him, is they say he's like the smallest middleweight. If you're that good, dude, and you're that much smaller than everybody, how can't you move down to 170 and be the beast? He just found a weight class that works, man. He's fought the best of the best. He's still there. I'm just criticizing him because I could see him being a champ.
I mean, at 70, that's tough. I mean,
I know that's 15 pounds, but if you're a small guy at 185,
he can. I think his body type. You can see the people who can make it. Who
yeah,
can't.
right.
He could definitely.
He's just a shorter.
Yeah.
He's a shorter middleweight. But all right, the next guy we're moving in, we're talking about Nasruddin Imavov. Fighting Cal Barraro coming up, man. That's an exciting fight. Like we talked about, he was the backup fighter to the title fight of the two guys we're about to mention, man. One thing about Imavov, in my opinion, they just keep putting guys in front of him, and he keeps knocking them down.
I still don't believe he is. I don't believe in him. Sort of like how you don't at RDR.
Yeah,
he's just there and he wins, but I just don't. I don't see it. He just doesn't have. Maybe I don't like his style. I can't explain what. It's just something. I don't think he's there, but all he does is win. I can't.
Yeah, he comes forward. Let's see his last 5 fights.
He just knocked out Adesanya.
Yeah, decision. Well, no contest decision, knockout decision, knockout. So he knocked out Adesanya. He just keeps. They put him in front of him, and he gets through, man.
His submission. I mean, he's a problem. There's no doubt. I just personally, he's not somebody I believe in.
Yeah. And then the top two guys in the middleweight division are fighting 2 months from now in August. Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis, man, the champ. I know you love him, but that's going to be a hell of a fight, man. That's a big fight.
I mean, and like what everybody says, you've seen that Kamaru Usman came up short notice and took him 5 rounds. And
that was a 3-round fight.
Was it a 3-round?
Yeah, it was a 5-round fight. Usman was winning.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because he won the 3rd round. Usman won the 3rd round because Chimaev was tired.
Here, you have to, if you stop the initial blitz, the first 3 minutes maybe.
Legendary. But
I mean, he is coming, and everybody you're coming out, hey, you're walking into being a crazed hyena, and he's going to come straight at you and try to rip your throat out for the first 3 minutes. If you can survive that, now you're in a different world. But I mean, he's that different. He has some retards from what do we call it? I don't know.
It's just maniac strength, dude.
What he did to
Whittaker,
they clamped
shattered his teeth.
Just grabbed his head and squished his teeth.
Set his teeth clear out. And not for us to analyze the fight too much because that is coming up. But to just talk about Chimaev real quick. Like you said, dude, all gas, no break. I think this is his biggest test coming up. But he's passed every test, dude. He hasn't lost. Like you said, Usman was the guy that kind of put a little bit of experience and let him know, listen, you're not going to be able just to outmuscle everybody because Usman, coming on short notice, is legendary. Maybe
upper weight class.
Yeah, upper weight class. So. Maybe the best welterweight of all time. That's debatable with GSP. That's a different conversation. You and I probably think GSP's all-time GOAT there. But Usman is no joke, and he survived the Chimaev train. Chimaev is just nasty, though, dude. He's brutal.
We're going to see. See what
we're going to find out
because now his style is so awkward, but he's not.
So we're getting into du Plessis right now.
Yeah, he's not standing up, but he's not standing up with Chimaev's not standing up and box with him.
No,
you know exactly he's going to come try to tear right through you, and if he gets hold of something, he's going to take it with him. Can he hold him off for that 3 minutes and to survive, for lack of better terms?
Right.
That's the fight right there because DDP has got an iron chin. You're not going to hurt him, but getting taken down, I can't do.
So du Plessis, the one critique it was always against him was his cardio was bad. So earlier in his UFC career, he struggled. He had a nose problem, man. His nose was broke early in his career.
He was breathing through his mouth.
He was breathing through his mouth.
He had to.
They cleared that up, and since then he's been on a tear. I'm a fan of him. Like you said, he has an awkward style. He is a big middleweight, dude. And you're talking about Chimaev that's moved from 170 to 185. That tells me 185, he doesn't carry the same size. And we're talking about a fighter in DDP that is a massive guy. Cardio for days. I think he gets to work in. I'm excited. I don't even know what the odds are for the fight. I bet you it's a coin flip. And if I can get DDP an underdog, that's what I'm going to take. But DDP is a champ. That's a respectable guy. For a division we just listed at middleweight, that's pretty thick. Good call, Rich.
He's made through him. I mean, and DDP's beat the top.
Right.
I mean, you go down the list, boom, boom. Even Mobs, he hasn't fought yet.
Right.
I mean, he hasn't fought Kyle Bahio or.
But those guys are coming.
Yes.
Yeah, Brio's coming. Two fights away.
He's there.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, they're naysayers to DDP, but I like him, man. I like him. Yeah, I like him. I really do. I think his struggles with cardio earlier in his career made for exciting fights, might have built character. Now when he gets in these wars, he can press on the gas. He has some legit grappling as well. So I don't think Chimaev's just going to push him around.
He's not going to out-muscle. That's where I think the difference is going to be. He stunned Whitaker, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, so that could be...
He kind of got him up against the fence.
He stunned him quick. DDP's a bigger dude. He man-hit Whitaker, so we're talking big dude now. That's going to be the difference, I think. Hold him off, but once you get taken to the ground, you're not as big anymore. But I think he survives through the first 3 minutes. DDP.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna break down that fight further in August. Yeah. But thank you for the shout out with the suggestion. That was good. Usually we showcase a fighter. That was cool to showcase a division, man. Yeah. So that's something maybe we need to start bringing to the table because, I mean, the list of the top 10, you really get to see, man, there's a lot of good middleweights. It's deep.
It's probably as deep. I won't say as deep.
155 and 170 are like the best weight classes right now in the UFC, but 185's there, man.
It's going to, and then you get the size. Like you're not getting any little 155 people, or obviously a little, but you know what I mean.
Well, the 135, 125ers, there's some guys that can't finish, but in that 185 weight class, there's not a lot of guys. So the last topic we have to go over is from our buddy Tim Bickerstaff. He's asked us to talk about teammates that refuse to fight each other throughout the years, man, and there's a lot of them to discuss. But we're going to get into maybe 5. But some of the notables, let's kick it off right now, man. Cain Velasquez and Dan Cormier, man. Dan Cormier was Cain Velasquez's wrestling coach. That's hard to believe.
Yeah, they're that old, and I mean, how good Cain? They were both top notch.
Yeah.
Cain had the striking, no doubt, and he had the gas tank. But I mean, that would be a good one to watch.
I remember watching Dan Cormier. And it was in Bellator, or maybe it was Strikeforce at the time.
Yeah, he was coaching one time.
And they had a heavyweight tournament. And Dan Cormier was coaching. He wasn't even, I mean, he was green, man. All he could do was wrestle. He went into Strikeforce, the heavyweight tournament. He was like a replacement, won the whole thing. And I was like, wow, this guy's a stud. Yeah. And to find out that he's training with Cormier, or training with Cain Velasquez, and they refuse to never fight, man. That'd be a legendary heavyweight fight, man.
I'd love to see it. There's one thing you never get to see, but I've been top notch to watch.
There was one that you brought up right off the bat when we were talking about him was Merab.
That's the biggest one that I can only think of.
Really? Because there's a couple, but that's a big one. Aljamain Sterling, ex-champ, former champ, Merab wouldn't step in and fight him.
His brother. They said, that's my brother. I'm never going to fight him. No amount of money could ever do it. And as soon as he lost, then it was his time. And Merab since then has been. You just think how, and I mean even in the prime, I think he crushes Aljo.
Yeah,
because what Aljo does best is what Merab does better.
Yeah. Only thing I would say is Aljo's huge, so I don't know in sparring and grappling if Sterling's size might have helped him, but Merab's gas tank is nuts, dude.
If they're 35 together at the same time, I mean, they got to make weight at the same time.
Yeah, Sterling was a massive 135er.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah. But I mean, it's still Merab's going to be 135 too. Now you make your weight, you got one day. Who's going to be bigger? But you still got 5 rounds of Merab to win.
I would not be picking against Merab. But I mean, that's a legit, like you said, 2 champions that refuse to fight. There's another duo that were champions that refuse to fight. We'll talk about here in a few seconds. All right, the next one is going to be Anderson Silva. No, let's wait for that one. Dustin Poirier, Jorge Masvidal, man. That's another one. Friends that would not fight.
Yeah, I mean, they're both cut from pretty much the same. I mean, Masvidal started the street fights, and he was with...
damn it, how are we going to feel his name? Kimbo.
Yeah, Kimbo Slice.
Yeah, it sucks not having a guy in our ear telling us,
But I mean, they're the same type because Poirier will fight anybody. Drop out like, okay, let's go. Right. He said it before about the wrestler, the big mouth.
Roy Nelson?
No.
Who are you talking? I don't know.
Whatever, Poirier.
Cody. You're talking about?
Not Cody.
The wrestler that was fought. You talking Khabib?
No. I
don't know.
Damn it, the big Trump guy.
Oh, Colby.
Yeah,
he
Colby
said. All right. I was like, as soon as you got, give me a little bit of.
But Colby, he said, listen, he said, I'm not giving that guy money. He said, if I see him on the street, it's on, and he's telling you 100%. There's no same way Masvidal hit him at the steakhouse.
Yeah,
coming.
Right.
They
did not want to make money off of.
Yeah, he's like, he's not getting money off of me. If I see him, we're going to get on it, but I'm not going to let him make money off me. But it was down. You seeing it was going on site. It was going down.
That's a legendary duo. I didn't think was going to be on this list. Kamaru Usman, he refused to fight Islam and Chakov Ramanov. I don't know if Ramanov would beat him now, but back then, those are two big names that Usman wouldn't fight. Man, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Shavkat is going to be. I'm telling you, he's the next one. He's going to be the champ. He's going to. It doesn't matter.
170 is going to be his.
Because he beat Gary and found out he was injured when he beat Ian Gary. So he's there. I'm telling you. And
it would be his title shot instead of Islam's if Shavkat was healthy, in my opinion.
Yeah,
They would make that fight and then Islam would come in. But I didn't realize that Usman and Islam, Makhachev were like that. I was a shocker for me to see.
I didn't know.
And the one I slipped up and said is my number one was Anderson Silva refusing to fight Lyoto Machida, man. Those are two champs. They were some of the best at the time, refusing to fight each other. I forgot about that whole gym at the time, man. That gym was so good. There was all the best fighters were at that gym.
Was it Brick House or Black House?
It was,
Black
remember
House.
The eyes? It was their, that was their logo. Was it? Shit.
I know, because what's his name? The PB, they're the PBE guy all the time. Not PBE.
All those dudes were there.
Yeah, all on the juice.
Anderson Silva's gym.
Shit. Oh, yeah.
Oh, let's see. See if it pops up here.
Good.
Black House, you're right.
Yes, that's what
there you go, Black House. And their thing, they had them eyes.
Yeah.
And that was their thing. But that was my
Machida. They said when Machida came out, that was our guy from the start. Machida was there, and he gave a piece of shit Jones all he could handle. He was the first one to hurt him.
Right. Oh yeah. He made him bleed, and then Jones put him to sleep.
But I mean, he found out, oh shit, I can't do it. And I mean, Machida didn't. He had the style of never get hit, so that's why he was able to dominate people like that.
Yeah, there's some less notable ones I really don't want to get into. Gilbert Burns, Benil Darush. There was Chimaev, Darren Till. There was guys like Darren Till and Chimaev were really good friends.
Oh, they're
Darren
brothers
Till,
too.
Darren Till was good at one time at UFC. He refused to fight him coming up. But that was a nice little topic.
I like it. I would like more suggestions.
Yeah, right.
It gets the blood flowing. We start to go back to
and it's cool you guys giving us ideas because knowing what you guys want to listen to, you guys are just some diehard MMA fans too. We're not the most knowledgeable, but man, we love it just like everybody else. So thank you guys. Huge shout out to both of you guys for giving us those suggestions.
Definitely.
That's going to wrap it up, man. Hour and 11 minutes.
That's usually an hour 20.
Yeah, UFC 317 International Fight Week, man. We're pretty pumped for it. Sign us off, Boogie. Let them know. Tell them, see you later.
And it's time!
Love it.